Absolutely. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. This is a game that everyone around the NFL has been talking about all week. These teams both come in undefeated, both having phenomenal seasons up to this point. What a heavyweight battle we have on our hands here. It's the Bills going up against the Seahawks. With that, let's get you out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. They've got the call of this Week 9 matchup.
Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Evergreen State and CenturyLink Field in Seattle, Washington. Straight ahead, it's a matchup of unbeatens between the Buffalo Bills and the Seattle Seahawks. Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll bring up second down. The wide receivers, often a very, very talented group, and that's the case here.
And they don't mind showcasing it either. Those guys love to be flashy, love to make big plays out in the open field. They will attempt to do so in this game.
Eight yards to go here on second down. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Rodgers to throw on second down. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. That one goes for 24 yards. And early on, they're picking up right where they left off last week.
And I know a lot of coaches say each game is its own. You don't really have carryover. This feels like carryover. So much confidence from the previous game that they're using to their advantage now.
Now a former Tar Heel, Giovanni Bernard, uses the stiff arm. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so. Rodgers with a keeper. Only a gain of a yard there, but a new set of downs. So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. Now the former Oregon man, this is Kenyon Barner. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed, and that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
Here's Rodgers, and incomplete there. A nice hit, jars the ball free, and brings up third down. The Seahawks, here's their defensive lineup.
Michael Bennett's one of the best pass-rushing defensive linemen in the game. Normally plays defensive end, but when they go to those nickel packages and he works inside, look out, offensive guards. You've got a problem.
On third and long, it's Rodgers. He completes it to Bryant, and he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. All week in practice, they stress grounding, pounding the football, and they really executed it well there to get the first down.
That usually means getting back to being physical in practice, because when you emphasize pounding the football, it doesn't really come together unless you practice it the same way you're going to play it in the game. That means more bodies, more pads, and a whole lot of popping last week, and they got it done in the game. So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
And the 8th play on this drive coming up. On second down, here's Rodgers. He drops it off for Bernard. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives them a 1st and goal. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Trying here for Bryant, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. The starters for the Seahawks of Seattle on the offensive side. Charles, they could use a big game from Thomas Rawls.
And they really loved what they got out of him last year because an undrafted player is not supposed to give you nearly 6 yards a carry in production. And that's exactly what he did. They need a big game out of him, and they expect it.
First down, this is Rawls. And he'll get this one up to the 26. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And we take a look at the Bills' defense.
Ronald Darby's selection makes a general manager look good. A terrific ball hawk who is eager to tackle in the run game.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. A nice, strong run there for Rawls. His coaches back in high school in Flint, Michigan, you know what his nickname was?
No, what was it?
The Train. The man can break some tackles on occasion.
Well, it makes sense when you watch runs like that.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. And now out come the Bills. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also took...
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. A really nice gain of 25 yards. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And he carries this one all the way down to the 9. A big gain there for the Bills. 31 yards. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Giovanni Bernard with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Bills have taken the early lead. And it's 7-0 Buffalo. After the TD, here's Carpenter on to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I'm here, my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Back to the ground on first. Again, it's Rawls. And he will possibly get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. On the other hand, it will definitely take us to the end of the first quarter of play. Second down following the run. They'll come out in the pistol. Off the play fake to Rawls. Wilson. And left side here, it's Graham. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. On first and 10, it's Wilson. Wide open receiver complete. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Fresh set of downs here. Rawls, the lone man in the backfield. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
Man, confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. They'll begin here with Bernard. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. Offense comes to the line now, first and 10.
For so many years, I was convinced it was a myth, because you always hear about the smaller running back. Oh, he gets lost, you can't find him, and sometimes that's part of his genius. But it's true. You get behind big offensive linemen, the defensive line guys trying to find him, trying to peek around people to see him, and he gets lost. But this guy gets lost in a good way for his offense, picking up big yardage.
4 yards remaining now on second down. Shift together here from the D-line. Rodgers to throw on second down. Underneath, this is Bernard. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And a couple of big boys up front defensively, and in that 4-3, those D tackles so vital.
Extremely vital. I love how you describe that, because if they control things up front, often it's over the guard. Sometimes they slide and make it over the center. It's really hard to get a play started then, because a lot of teams want to start inside out running the football. But against a good 4-3, you may not find any space. And on that play, there was zero space. No gain.
Now Rodgers. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. They'll run it now out of the gun. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Niles Paul, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bills will extend their lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. After the TD, here's Carpenter on to kick it away. And And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember
I was going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
They go play action here on first down. The grab made by Curse over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
He's going to loft one. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. It's a big play there for Seattle. 43 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. It'll go as a loss of 8 and a tough result there on 1st and goal. Now Wilson on 2nd down. And that's Curse for the Seattle touchdown, hauling it in. Jermaine Curse, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks have made this a 1-score game. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And the Bills offense comes out ready to take over. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Rodgers now on 1st down. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Two minutes to play here in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Throwing is Rodgers. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. They're going to hurry back to the line now. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
That was a good, strong run there. And while it won't pick up a 1st down, it was definitely something needed by that offense. A positive run. They got a good push by their guys up front. Maybe something they can build on as this game continues.
And complete right side to Cook. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
You know that old expression, it's not my...
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So the offense looking at a 2nd and 8. Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. And that is incomplete.
All right, let's go ahead and try and get into the body and the mind of the linebackers. Yeah, I know they're bigger and stronger than I ever was, but in this situation, they understood what was going on as much as the offensive guys, because the offensive guys are always taught, find the first down sticks and make the play. Well, on defense, what do you want? A down line. Make sure they don't get there and tackle them in front. They were able to drop in their zone coverage, figure out where the first down line was, and end up making the play, swatting it away so they couldn't get the completion.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to.
Now the Bills will take another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. Rawls, the lone man in the backfield. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Backing up. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at 2nd down. And on 2nd and 10 now.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
He was trying to get it to Jermaine Kearse, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
3rd down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. On 3rd down, Wilson. He's got time. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. It's taken to the 26. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, and they'll be aided by a loss of yardage on the return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Bryant, the lone receiver, left. They'll start on the ground here with Bernard. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It'll go as a gain of 10 there. And it's 1st down, Buffalo.
Check.
So we've reached halftime with the visiting Bills taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you cross-country to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando with our halftime report, here's Larry Ridley. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the 2nd half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that. locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But
this
you're
is
going to do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They'll need to get the play off quickly. Rawls, the lone man in the backfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jerry Hughes in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. And they'll start this drive with very good field position. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Here's Bernard. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
So 2nd down, 3 yards to go now. Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down in bounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
And 3 full yards here for the offense to get on 3rd down. Rodgers going to try and throw on, and he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. K.J. Wright in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. Dan Carpenter now for the Bills field goal. Wind at his back now in this 3rd quarter. And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it on line, but it comes up about a rotation short. Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was a crossbar that said otherwise. And that'll deny him a shot at 3.
And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Defense, let's go. Pick it up, D.
A fake to Rawls. Now it's Wilson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Time running out here on the play clock. And big problems getting the play out, obviously. This will be a delay. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. 3rd and long, it's Wilson. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception picked off by Ryan Shazier. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Yeah, get a little closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him. It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10.
4 down, 4 down. Check. Box it.
Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. And Bryant's got it over the middle. A big gain there for the Bills. 35 yards. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. On 1st down, Rodgers. Underneath, this is Bernard. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 7 yards on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. So just 1 yard to go here on 3rd down. On the sneak, Rodgers. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
Well, they pick it up on 3rd and 1 on the quarterback sneak, and that's not easily done because there are extra bodies in there on the defensive side, and they're moving forward at the snap.
Yeah, I was certainly expecting a handoff, weren't you?
Yeah, I totally was. I thought they'd go with a back, maybe try and get a lead blocker in front. But as you talk about in different games, those guys with confidence in their offensive line, they just want to move forward and get it.
Now Bernard, down right around the 25. Face mask penalty, and Charles, you were a defender. You know sometimes in the heat of the moment, it's hard to keep your hands away from that face mask.
Sometimes you just get out of position as a defender when you're trying to make a tackle, so you end up flailing away, and your hand gets into the wrong spot.
Red zone opportunity. They'll run it here with Bernard. stopped immediately there. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
Now they'll throw with Rodgers. And a quick throw here, that's complete. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Bush on 3rd down. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. Dan Carpenter now for the Bills field goal. This a fairly straightforward 22-yard short attempt. And Carpenter knocks it through, and that will open the lead up now to 20-7. So the drive takes them inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
Carpenter now, after the made field goal, will kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They start on the ground with Rawls. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. Caught here by Bell. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And now they're in the hurry-up. So the D-line's going to spread out. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. Wilson a give to Rawls. Oh, what a move. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him. Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
And he cuts it out to the sideline. A very solid gain of 27.
Well, plenty of credit has to go to the guy carrying the ball. He broke the tackle and gained the yardage. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the defender's bad. They're not going to make 100% of the tackles all the time. Even the best in the game will miss one occasionally. The key is not to let it snow.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop it for an 8-yard loss. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. This will be caught inside the 10. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. They come out here in the I. They'll try and run down here with Procise. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Jermaine Kearse with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Seahawks able to make this a close game again. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. Fielded about a yard deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They'll get 17 yards there. And it'll be a Buffalo first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Second down to the offense in search of 6 yards. Rodgers to throw on second down. Escaping the pressure right. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Jared Cook, the tight end, was the target. And it's third down.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
Incomplete pass on second down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on third.
Quick, guys. Check three. Get 300. Get 300. Over.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. He completes it to Bryant. Oh, no, he lost the football. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Here come the Seahawks now set to take over on offense. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
They go again with Rawls. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
And leading here late, so a chance for the defense to really close out this game if they can halt the offense. Wilson going to give to Rawls. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. It's already 2nd and 12. The defense hoping to push them back more. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. It's caught outright by Graham. 12 yards is the pickup there, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
the speed, I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Third and short, it's pro size. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. They come out here in the eye. Another run, but this time it's Rawls. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. A gain of 3, second down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
He's back to throw. Going to Rawls on the dump off. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive.
4 down.
And it's first and goal now, but still 10 yards to go. Rawls. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. And now the Bills are going to stop it as they call a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. He'll look to throw. It's caught on the left side by Kurz. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Jermaine Kurz in the final minute. And the Seahawks are within the extra point of taking the lead. And they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And the Bills getting set to go. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you've got a decision. Are you in field goal range, or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it. Back to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested, and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what 2nd down has in store. Back to throw. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And they're going to get this one up to the 35-yard line. When we see another great performance like this out of Aaron Rodgers, you have to chuckle thinking that his only FBS offer was a walk-on at Illinois.
And now he's the pride of Butte Junior College, of course at Cal. And I remember watching him play at Cal, and he would run 7-on-7 drills. Angry if the ball ever hit the ground, and it didn't do it very often.
And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. They'll look to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. And this time they go underneath for a simple pitch and catch.
And not only do you get the pitch and catch, Brandon, but you're able to keep the receiver moving when you hit him with the drag route.
Short of the sticks after that completion, and now it's third down for this offense. Now Rodgers. He completes it to Bryant. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Back to throw, Rodgers. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll be their third and final stoppage. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So it is all up to Dan Carpenter. 2 seconds on the clock. This for the win. And his kick is good. He knocks through his third field goal of the game, and this one is the one that decides it. And the Bills are going to get out of here winners. Charles, this is not an easy place to win. They are known for having such a great crowd. But how about that? They came in here, they were determined from the opening kick, and they got it done.
And they've done such a great job at putting an excellent team on the field. For the architects that built this stadium to keep the noise in, and that crowd responds in a
I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. In today's matchup, we have a dangerous team. The Jags are #1 in turnover differential, and they'll be up against a Cowboys team that knows they have to take care of the ball. With that, we'll send it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. They've got the call in this Week 5 matchup.
Thank you very much, Larry. While the skies may be ominous, there's never a bad day for football. Tonight, we wind up Week 5 with a good battle between the Dallas Cowboys and the Jacksonville Jaguars. They'll come out in the pistol. Again, we'll see the pistol here. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jalen Smith from that outside linebacker spot. He's able to get in there for a loss of 9. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 8 yards on the run there, and that trims it to a 3rd and 11 coming up.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved it and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
He throws, and he hits the slant route to Thomas. They get 14 yards there and a first down. So opening drive, 3rd down, they complete the slant to move the sticks.
And ordinarily, it's a high percentage pass when you throw it. And receivers like to run that route because it gets the ball in their hands pretty quickly. Just a couple of quick steps upfield, break towards the middle, and the ball should be there. And then they can do some work afterwards.
Hey, we got 4. We got 4 down. 4 down. Here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39. Like 50. Oh, dang,
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. Room here to run. It's a gain of 17 that time. And it'll give the Jags a first down. Coach hinted to us that we may see some old power football here in this game. We got a taste of it on that first down run.
I love how he hinted it to us. And then when we were watching practice, we were watching what they call inside drill with the offensive and defensive line. And they kept putting more defenders on the other side and saying, block that. I don't care how many guys are in there. I want to run the football this week. And, boy, it has paid off for them in this game.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Now look at the starting unit, and here's to you, Mr. Robinson.
Oh, I like that one. Allen Robinson, I love coming out of Penn State. Everyone kept telling me he's not fast enough, and I kept pointing to the film and saying, yes, but he catches everything. He's definitely a threat.
Nine yards still remaining here to pick up the first on 2nd down.
3 down. 3 down. Here we go. Green, 90. Green, 90.
Play clock winding down. Bortles. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. And now the defense for Dallas.
Sean Lee is a linebacker with an exciting mix of tackling ability and coverage skills.
They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down.
4 down. 4 down. Alert. Here we go now. Blue 45.
Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. Over the middle, the connection to Hearns. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Prescott looks to throw on first. Bryant with a catch right side. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. And a pretty simple completion there underneath, but a successful one for the offense.
Partner, it doesn't have to be the big shots downfield all the time. Having that safety net underneath is a great thing for a quarterback.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he's got room. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
A second down throw for Prescott. Forced out to his left. And an alley to run. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. A first down carry by Elliott. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Partner, that defensive win reminds me of something a coach of mine used to say all the time. If you really want it, you'll find a way to go get it. And the defense did exactly that.
They'll try to throw now. Prescott. Trying here for Bryant, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here.
Watch left. Here we go.
Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. He finds Hearns left side. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. On the counter, here's Williams. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Boy, that's a lot of sirloin steak to be taken down for no gain, partner.
Are you trying to suggest that he is a huge man?
He is
not just a big man, a huge man.
Big boy.
Well, how about the credit then for the defense to be able to chop that big tree and put him on the ground?
I know back when you played, it took 4 of you to take a guy like that down, right?
Well, that's for sure. And you know what else? I didn't want to challenge him at dinner either. After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. To throw is Bortles. He's got his man here. It's Green. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Allen Hurns, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Jaguars add on to their lead.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. It'll go as a gain of 12, and it'll be 1st down, Cowboys.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Prince Amukamara. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a 1st down. Bortles now on 1st down. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Allen Robinson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. And he's got it up and through. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. Shreds the tackle. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
Let's go!
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Second down now after the pass completion.
Here we go.
Prescott now on second down. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's third down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Come on, let's go.
Throwing, Prescott. And this is going to be incomplete. Des Bryant, the intended receiver. And it's fourth down. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch, counter punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
Let's see if they dial it up this drive. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block. They ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
Now Williams. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
And the offense still has a couple plays to go to pick up the first on 2nd down and 3. They'll run it with Williams. And he's got some space here. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down. Bortles will try again on 2nd down. Looking again for Thomas, this time complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Tight end's left. Tight end's left. We got 4. We got 4. Here we go. Green, 39. Green, 30.
Now Bortles. He finds Hearns left side. And the broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Watch left. Tight end to the left, tight end left. Hey, 4 down.
Bortles to throw once more. Can't find anyone open. That's caught. It's Thomas. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3.
I'd have to say they're feeling like they are in rhythm right now. Things are in sync, aren't they? Team's winning, got a nice little margin on the scoreboard, completing some passes, and they just completed another one for a first down there to the tight end.
He's crashing. He's checking crash.
They'll run it with Williams. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 7, and it'll set them back for second down. And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. Another pistol look here. Now he's hit, and Bortles fumbled. It's loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him.
And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Way back at the 19 now. What do they have here on 3rd and goal?
Eyes on 13. Eyes on 13. Here we go.
Play action. Now it's Bortles. And that is incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. And that brings up 4th down. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder.
And that was a nice play. He knocked it away, but obviously you want the interception in this situation. You want to take away any chance that they have any decision to make on 4th down. But things happen so quickly in the end zone in this compressed area of the field that you're just happy to knock it away and not allow a touchdown.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back with more from Jacksonville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this. First down throw for Prescott. Caught left side, Williams. A gain of 6 there on first. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground.
Here we go.
A second down throw for Prescott. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. And the offense moving quickly to the line.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Prescott to throw it. Dancing to his left. Out left side here to Bryant. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. And they're going to speed things up here.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
I'm not quite sure how he wasn't able to hold on to that one in the end zone. A great opportunity lost, but a lot of relief for the defensive guys. When they get into film next week, they're going to want to know what happened. Where was the breakdown that almost allowed a touchdown?
1 receiver left, 2 to the right. Throwing again, Prescott on 2nd and 10. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Shift together here from the D-line. 1 man on the backfield, Elliott. Prescott. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
Offense still needing 10 yards. 2nd down. A 2nd down throw for Prescott. And that's incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand. Or 2 in and bats it away.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down.
Let's go!
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. The Cowboys will turn it over now to Dan Bailey for the field goal try. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. And Bailey able to knock it through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. Well, at least they won't take a goose egg into intermission as they do carve out 3 points here in the waning moments of quarter number 2.
Yeah, it hasn't really been the greatest of first halves. They've looked out of sync, especially on the offensive side of the ball. But a field goal here at least gives them some momentum as we tick down toward halftime.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Green, 90, left.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Black 58 rail. Black 58 rail. Ready.
They go play action here on 1st down. Trying to lay one up deep. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
Fans do love the long ball, don't they? And he already found his guy once. Tried to give him another chance there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Couldn't connect, but as you alluded to, he does have that touchdown from earlier, trying to keep him in the rhythm.
Here we go.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Bortles. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. 1st down and 10 now for the offensive group.
Watch left. Start right there. Ready. Green, 90. Green.
On 1st down, Bortles. And incomplete there almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's second down. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
And Myers able to knock it through. So we reach halftime, and so this guy's just sitting there, right? He's got like 30 hot dogs in front of him. And what's that? Apparently we're back. Okay, so Larry's halftime show got cut off. Sorry, we were doing story time here in the booth. We are ready, though, for the third quarter. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
So second and 10 here.
Let's go.
On second down, Prescott again. Had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake. Third down.
My high school coach, John Ford, used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Man open left side. It's Williams. That throw good for 4. It's second down. So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. Now Prescott. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Down here in the red zone, you know your tight end's going to be a favorite target. Couldn't hang on.
And sometimes they just have to get out of their own head because they understand how tight windows are there and how many bodies are there. And sometimes they just overthink it and don't catch the ball.
A second down throw for Prescott. This will be caught inside the 10. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now first and goal.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired him. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. Oh, good hurdle.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
A second down throw for Prescott. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Their big-bodied receiver. His second touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys cut into that lead. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Fielded about a yard deep. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
So this brings up a 2nd and 2. Again, it's Williams. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Now a handoff. Here's Williams. He finds some open field here. And he cuts it left, and now room to move. Touchdown, Jaguars. Carlos Williams, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, we gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
Let's see if they can figure that out right here. Here's Prescott. Bryant with a catch right side. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Here we go.
And again, it's Prescott. His throw incomplete. So incomplete on second down. Now they'll look to convert here on third. Bryant, the lone receiver left. Prescott now. Finding time. It's caught inside the 25. They're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Let's go.
First down, Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's second down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
To the air again, Prescott. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. He was trying to get it to Ezekiel Elliott, and it's third down.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
And the Jags, Charles, I think they're on the dime here.
Covering a lot of field.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Give him credit for batting it away, but unable to come up with the interception. And sometimes that joke does come true. Guys are on defense for a reason. Maybe their hands aren't quite as skillful as the guys on offense, but a lot of credit on that play for just knocking it away.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Fourth down, Prescott. A hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. The Cowboys here unable to convert on fourth down. And the Jaguars are going to take possession here on the turnover on downs. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and end of the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
Throwing his Bortles on third down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot, but they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
Here's Jackson. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
And with the play clock at 5, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. Bryant, the lone receiver, left. 3rd and long for Prescott. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. The Jaguars' offense now heads back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. I guess that's what happens when you give the current NFL rushing leader that much room.
And when you do, all you're doing is solidifying his standing at the top of the leaderboard. He's going to continue to get more and more yards. Good luck trying to chase him down.
They'll try and run. This is Williams. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Carlos Williams with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They start on the ground with Elliott. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Back now in Jacksonville. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Second down, 8. A second down throw for Prescott. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And the ball is knocked out. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away.
It wasn't 3rd and long. It was more like 3rd and attainable, and oftentimes offense just want to run enough to pick up a first down. But I think they wanted a break tendency there. Catch the defense, plan for the short pass, and push it downfield, and they almost collected a big play.
Let's go!
Desperation time. Prescott on 4th. And he comes back with one complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
We always talk about big-time players make big-time plays in big-time moments. I think that 4th down qualified. That was a heck of a throw.
So the offense has it 1st and 10.
Tight right. You got 3 down. Let's go!
Prescott on 1st down. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
Well, an incomplete pass certainly doesn't look like a good play. For the guy throwing it today, as many interceptions he's thrown, he's got to feel a sigh of relief that the ball actually hit the ground and didn't go in the other direction.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Prescott to throw it. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Dante Fowler in there to sack number 8 for him on the year. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Hey, guys, check me out. We got 3 down, but we got to stand up over there.
Bryant, the lone receiver, left.
Flex round! Ohio! Tighten up! Flex round! Flex round!
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line.
We know it's tough enough to pick up first downs on third down plays, but when you go for it on fourth down, sometimes you're actually just praying, and on that play, the prayer was answered.
Here we go!
On 1st and 10, Prescott flushed out right. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll bring up a second down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Right, Roger. 4 down. Check. 4 down. Here we go. What?
Prescott now on 2nd down. He's got his man on the crossing route. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. And this seemingly endless drive continues.
Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now. Here we go.
1st down, Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And they do get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3.
And that was a beautifully executed screen pass. They let the rushers get upfield and get the escorts in front, meaning the offensive linemen, other blockers out in front, completed the pass beautifully. So now you've got all that open space with big guys leading the way.
Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this.
Hey, we've got tight ends left. 4 down. Let's go.
Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
Fourth quarter with a lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that plus 3.
See if they stay on the ground for second down. The busy night continues for Williams. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And look out, I think he's going to go. Touchdown, Jaguars. Carlos Williams, his 3rd touchdown of the game, his 8th on the year. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now, no question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. This will be taken in at the 1. And it'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just drop to a point and react into the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words, get to your assignment and then locate a guy coming into your area, and then you end up covering him almost man for man. That allows him to make more plays on the football like the one we just saw there.
Throwing again, Prescott on 2nd and 10. Now they go screen, it's complete. Nothing on the screen that time, now it's 3rd down.
So many screen passes are the result of excellent acting by everyone, but sometimes the guy who's getting the ball tips the play off. The running back, because he's eager to get the pass, and sometimes he doesn't act very well about whether he's going to block or leak out or whatever, and I think that they saw that, and that's why they're able to get to him on it.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he's able to get it to the 33, good enough for a 1st down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Prescott, and that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Jaguars,